So good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, I guess. We are still working on our writing prompt of what pet should we get, like for our classroom pet. And the options were a hamster, a hermit crab, or a betta fish. Guys all remember doing this?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Let me share my screen. It's not gonna be on the right screen. Get that out of there. And we're gonna go to language arts writing day 5. This activity, it says, I'm gonna read the instructions before I actually open it this time. Remember, you can do it from the point. It says process of writing a persuasive paper. First, you worked with the big idea to understand your options. That's when you decided, like, okay, this is what I need to know about a hamster. This is what I need to know about a hermit crab. This is what I need to know about a betta fish. So you understood what the different choices were. Then you use the resources provided to gather information to support your choices for the class pet. That was day 2 when we had that grid with 9 different squares in it, and you had to fill in your reasons why we should get the pet that you decided we should get. And so that was when you use your resources. Next, you organize that information into 3 categories. And that's when you literally just like took the same things that were in your boxes and put them into the groups, the ease of care, the benefit for the class, and the opposing points. Then the next day, so what was yesterday, what happened on Friday, was when we began drafting and using an outline. And that's when we tried to take those 3 sections and write our ideas into full sentences, which honestly, most friends did not do a very great job on that. And I think it's because it wasn't explained right. So I think that was my fault. I apologize. Once we're doing an outline, like what we did on day 4 of this, you can't just write words anymore. You need to write full sentences, making sure you have capital letters and punctuation, because this is legitimately, if you do an outline the right way, you will be able to take those exact sentences and put them right into your paragraph and not have to change anything. A lot of us today will have to change things because it wasn't right the first time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to fix things up, make sure they're full sentences, complete sentences before we continue. So today we're going to type your persuasive paragraph, convincing me to get the classroom pet that you believe is best. So when you go into this to go add a response, you're going to notice that like it's literally just this. All right. It is just this page. There's no outline, there's nothing on there. Are you just going to write random ideas in here? Like, is this what I should start writing? I think we should get a hamster because they're cute and fluffy.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Yeah, you're right. We should not write this because that's not enough. Okay. That is not my paper. That's not going to convince your teacher to get you a classroom pet. That's not going to convince mom or dad to get you a new pet. Okay. What we're doing here is you're going to have an entire outline. So what you did on day 4, back in this activity, you had, which pet should we get? You filled this out. Do you remember this? This was your outline, and it said, in my opinion, I think we should get a blank for our class pet. Guys, what do you think my first sentence here is going to be? What did I write?
My option, I think we should get a blank for our class pet.
So I literally took this sentence here, which was our beginning sentence, and I used it as my first sentence because that's what we do in an outline. Since Ms. Farmer's on a computer, I just have them open in 2 different tabs. How would you be able to see this and your activity that you're currently working on at the same time? What should we do?
Screenshot.
We should screenshot it. So like, since I'm on a computer, I can toggle back and forth, which means I can go back and forth from slide to slide. Like I can go to this screen and I can go back and forth without a problem. because it's harder for you guys to go back and forth without a problem, when you're on here, you should go back to this one where you wrote complete sentences, hopefully. If you didn't write complete sentences, that's definitely something you're gonna have to do. Screenshot it, upload it on this screen so that you can write it, because this should be our first sentence. When I go to write my next sentence, should I start a new box?
No, you just gave it the same one and put periods.
Right, I should have a period and then 2 spaces and a capital letter. Since my next section is all about the effort to take care of, I can start that by saying, like, that's, you have ideas in there already, guys. What does somebody have as one of their sentences in the effort to take care of?
I don't know.
Go ahead, take a minute and look. Go ahead, that's okay. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna actually, Arabella, do you mind if I open yours? So I'm gonna open Arabella's.
Because they don't eat that much?
Okay, they don't eat that much. That's one of the reasons. So because they don't eat that much though, isn't a full sentence and it doesn't really transition well. So if our first sentence is, in my opinion, I think we should have a blank for a class pet. I think this because, are they hard to take care of or easy?
Easy.
Easy.
I put they are easy to take care of. And now I'm going to say another sentence. So I put a period. And Jacob, what do you want me to talk about?
Because they don't eat that much?
So I'm going to give that as an example of how they're easy to take care of. So I think this because they are easy to take care of. For example, comma, they do not eat that much food. Period. Space, space. What else? Anybody else have something different?
They like to sleep a lot.
Oh, they don't. For example, they do not eat that much food. Also, comma, they like to sleep a lot. I spelled a lot wrong. That's okay. Any other examples?
And maybe you have to feed them once in a while.
Well, since we already have something about food, I'm not going to put that one in. But anything else? That's a good point. And if you wanted to say that, like, you only feed them once in a while instead of they don't eat that much food, that's totally okay.
Okay.
So that is our first sentence right here. Oops, right there. And then we talked about our first reason, they're easy to take care of, and we gave 2 examples. What's the next thing we get to in this outline?
The basic to take care of.
Nope, not
The benefit to the class.
the benefit to the class. I'm just gonna put a blank pet because it could be any of the pets, right? Would be really good for the class, period. It will what? What will it teach the class?
To take care like a pet, and also to
be
make them do.
responsible.
Okay, so I heard it will teach responsibility. It will teach responsibility to the students. And Jacob, what did you say?
To make, I had 2, so I think this is not a good one, but to make them join Zoom, I think.
To make them do what?
To
Oh,
join Zoom.
and it might help students join Zoom more. That's fine. That's a totally reasonable idea. I remember that idea that you had. Then we will go to the third reason. Do you guys see how this is working?
Opposing points.
Yep. And in opposing points, you say some downfalls or some bad things about having this pet could be. And then you go on to give your reasons there. Guys, is this gonna be super duper hard?
No, this
No.
is easy.
It should be pretty easy. Now,
No.
Miss Farmer's a little bit of a weirdo, and I don't like when this is like the way it is. So I'm gonna change the style of it to have it all the way to the
To make it like a real sentence.
right, to make it look like it's like a real
That's
paper.
what I do sometimes.
And that's totally okay. So that's what I did right now. And now I'm going to just save it as a draft because I know you guys can do this. Does this seem like something that's going to be really hard, or you're going to be able to like
No.
bust this out? And if you get stuck or you're confused, we can totally go over it. Make sure that you're writing in complete and full sentences. Remember, right now, while we were together on Zoom and while I was recording this, we were kind of talking about a hamster. I don't want to see these exact sentences in there because that feels a little cheaty to me. You can totally use the same ideas, but make sure you're not just copying and pasting my sentences or screenshotting them, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording, and then if you guys have any questions, we can still go over them. I'm still right here, okay?
Okay.